Andy Schweitzer. I'm from the class of 2013. And several months ago, Julius asked me if I would have the honor to introduce him as this year's Honorary Alumni Award winner. And I told him that I wanted to say one thing right away. And it was that this is an incredible honor, and you were never even my teacher. And we weren't even here at the same time. But I only share that story because I know that it speaks to something about Siena and the relationships that are formed. We're really different. You're a chemistry teacher. I'm a history teacher. I like learning about nobles from the Renaissance, and you like learning about noble gases. Wikipedia confirmed that that was correct. My point exactly. The humanities are where it's at, right, Dr. Barst? But our friendship speaks to the liberal arts education that I know so many of us in this room and you love and support. And you've written about that liberal arts education when you talked about a 2005 Nobel Peace Prize winner, Thomas Schelling, who wrote that the one thing one person can never do in life is draw up a list of the things that will happen to that person. So how we respond, though, makes all of the difference. And that piece that you wrote in the defense of our liberal democracy is, or of liberal education is everything, Julius. But Julius began teaching at Siena in the fall of 2012. In reviewing his accolades, it's clear that Julius knows chemistry and he teaches what he loves, but Julius loves something more than chemistry. He loves what was beautifully captured by the speaker in last spring's commencement, Paula Scott. Julius loves the idea of a liberal arts education. He wrote that it's one that seeks to introduce everyone to something or even one thing that is different in an attempt to understand that what is something that is different is never something to be feared, but always to be celebrated. That's coming from a chemistry teacher. Julius has said that a liberal arts education does not teach us how to do a job, but it teaches us how to live a life. And what a wonderful teaching experience Julius has blessed us with. He's taught the first year experience while also serving as the chairman for the Common Dialogue Day Committee. He has worked with future teachers on the Teacher Education Committee, and he has worked with first year students who came to school with undeclared majors, further solidifying that he believes in helping someone find an education, especially when they may not know what that education means. I've had the pleasure to work and know with Julius on the Siena Heights University Alumni Board. He's a person I admire so greatly. I know that anyone that meets Julius knows the same. And as I go into my edited notes, I am happy, Dr. Bars, Dr. Betts, for telling me that can now congratulate Dr. Nagy as being the Assistant Dean of the STEM division beginning this year. So he's always been a saint, but let's welcome Dr. Nagy, please.
First thing I'm going to do in a move that's going to draw Kate's wrath when I see her on Monday is I'm going to hijack the program here a little bit. Mr. Adams and Mr. Porter were in the very first FYE class I taught, and they were sentenced to take FYE at 8 o'clock in the morning. So let's just say that attendance was challenging. And I don't know if the two of them will remember it, but I had this idea that freshmen don't talk a whole lot. So we had a talking stick in the class that I had a football that at the book dinner that we had back then, I had everybody sign. And I told them the reason for that. The first reason was to be the talking stick. And what was the second reason? That when one of you got famous, this was going to be part of my retirement plan. It's yours. Although young Nate just printed his name, so it's diminished its value a little bit. I want to thank Andy for the nomination and for the intro. I want to thank all of you who decided to attend today's ceremony, and a big thank you to the Alumni Board, and I'll get back to the Alumni Board in a minute. I wanted to start with a little personal history that predates my time at Siena Heights. I needed a new gig after the economic crash of 08 and 09, which is not a time fondly remembered by many of you, because it took my corporate director job, a high-paying corporate director job, and jobs of any type were few and far between. I spent my time reading a few books, and one quote from Marianne Williamson has stuck with me all this time, and I want you to indulge me here. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So it took almost 2 years after that job went away for something to click. And I wound up teaching general chemistry at Hanover College in Indiana for 1.5 years. I couldn't be kept on because, surprise, it's a small school that had budget problems. Who knew? So cover letters and CVs were sent, and I got, yes, one interview at Siena Heights. I had no idea what to expect, but I had proved to myself at Hanover that I could teach young people. Turns out they're not that different from sales and marketing types when it comes to science. And those Siena students loved what I was serving. As a new faculty member in 2012, I was disappointed to learn that I would not be allowed to be on any faculty committees other than the new faculty committee, because they had to school me up in how we do things here. It's not like I was some young pup fresh out of grad school with wet ink on my Purdue diploma. No, I had done things. I knew some stuff. But it felt at times like none of that mattered to these people who wouldn't let me on a committee. Then, late in the winter semester of 2013, someone announced that the alumni board was looking for a faculty representative. And they let me do that one. I had been the student rep on the Xavier Alumni Board long ago when I was student government president my senior year, and I loved that experience, and this has beat that in spades. The Siena Alumni Board did not disappoint, and they don't to this day. They cared, they still care deeply about this institution. As DeLynn said, the Legacy Foundation is proof. They cared about its people. They wanted to know more about the students and the faculty. And eventually they wanted more of whatever I cooked up for the homecoming tailgate, particularly if it was grilled or contained alcohol. So in 2014, the cult of culinary chemistry was born, and the rest is history. It's probably been 350 students who've taken that course. And whenever Mark DiPietro tells me about one of Bella's discourses about culinary chemistry, I just look at him and say, yes, it's the gift that keeps on giving, because he's going to hear about this until his last breath on earth. I appreciate all of the hats that I'm privileged to wear today, including the new one that I guess I'll put on Monday. Maybe I have it on already, I don't know. And I know that I have them because the people of SHU love and trust me to do right by them. I am honored to be included in the group of Honorary Alumni Award winners that includes Sister Pat Schnapp, Jennifer Hamlin Church, Deb Carter, Mark Shearston, Bob Gordon, Norm Buckwa, Sandy Vanderland, Pat Palmer, Bob Metz, Sister Peg, and some guy named Push, who actually isn't here today because his sister's in the hospital, but he'll be around tomorrow, so you can get your fix of Push tomorrow. I've been blessed by the friendship of many of these folks, along with that of countless others. Little could I have known when I accepted this position in April of 2012 that this honor was ahead of me. So going back to that deepest fear quote, the part that reads, "We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us." It's not in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I guess that reminds me of my grandmother, who told me at a young age that those who were blessed by God with special gifts were expected to do more. And at that time, reading third grade books when you were 4 years old was a thing. So we kind of had a clue. God knows there have been times I didn't live up to that lofty standard, but not for the last 14 years. Shining so that others are free to shine themselves, yeah, I guess that sums things up. But before I go, there's one person I must mention, and she knows what's coming. About halfway through that first year, I had the good fortune to meet someone who had changed my life and challenged me to be all I could be. Without Gwen, I'm not sure that I would be standing here today. She has done nothing but support me in all that I care to do and knows how important the people of Siena have become in my life. As I seek the next chapter in June of my career, I know that her love will endure. Thank you, sweetie. And finally, to all of those I've met along the path, thank you for encouraging me to return to being who I was made to be, by encouraging me and continuing to invite me back to do more. Thank you for wrapping me in all the Siena love I have felt over the past 14 years. And once again, thank you for being here today to share in all the stories to be told. God bless Siena Heights, and go Saints.